America is so deeply rooted in racism and particularly misogynoir that even if you are from America, being a black woman does not make you an American. And America does not want to claim you as one of their own. The only people that they want to claim as one of their own are white. This is especially and very particularly clear in cases of Beyonce, of course, Meghan Markle, Serena Williams, in the case of Simone Biles, because America does not consider black people or people of color Americans. When I came to America, the most interesting thing for me to realize was like, oh, so like white people get all the credit for the stuff that people of color actually introduce into the culture. I just thought this was like a system that y'all employed. Like I thought it was like, oh yeah, we all look to the people of color to set the trend and then we all copy it. Like that's obvious. And it wasn't. I was just autistic, it turns out, the whole time. So it wasn't obvious to everybody else. But back in my country and like other countries in Europe, like I know this for a fact, like you were saying, like they defend women from their country just for being from that country, right? It's like, no, she's ours. Like you don't get to say shit about her. But again, because there is this distinction in America of like, you're not really American unless you're white. And they don't get claimed. And it is so obvious because like, again, in any other country, had a woman reached the fame and status levels and the accomplishments that any of these women that I named off have reached, like Beyonce, who's from Houston, Texas, like the most all-American thing that you can imagine, like she is it. And America doesn't claim her. In fact, a lot of people will tell you to your face without even being prompted that they don't like Beyonce. It's never encountered that in other countries. Like I've never really dealt with that because it's super weird because she's clearly very accomplished. You don't have to like her. But a lot of people will even go as far as to say that she's overrated. Based on what? Who else is doing any of the things that she's doing? She's overrated compared to whom? She's literally alone in her category, and people say she's overrated compared to whom? Who is underrated compared to her? No one. The things that she's been able to do are literally unthinkable for most other artists. She's the celebrity of other celebrities. There was a line to come say hi to her at the Grammys, and she didn't win Album of the Year. Taylor Swift did. It's weird, guys. It's weird. In any other country, like Simone Biles would be in every commercial. But I don't see her getting those kinds of brand deals. With Meghan Markle, like with all of these women, it's like, America, take the fucking W, but they're too racist to take the W. To even like celebrate the fact that a fucking American married into the British monarchy. Like, that's high level infiltration. And Americans are like, I don't know, I don't care. Like, no, you're fucking crazy. Like any other country would be up in Britain's face, like celebrating, being like, how's it fucking feel? Like Serena Williams was not allowed to wear a life-saving cat suit to play tennis. A game that she arguably like owns at this point. Like owns. She has more championship titles or whatever than any man, any white woman. And yet America is just like, yeah, I mean, that's Serena Williams. Like, not, like no fanfare, no big deal. Simone Biles, the most decorated Olympian of all time. And America just won't take the W and put her in every commercial and have her be the spokeswoman for everything. Like, it didn't make sense to me until I really understood racism. And it's because America has a problem with being represented by black people. Whether that's due to like guilt, shame, racism, or anything else, it's wrong. It's wrong. But that's why it happens. Like if you're wondering like why maybe some black women also don't come together and like defend these women, is because there is reward in your proximity to whiteness in America. So the closer that you are to white people's opinions, the more as a person of color that you are rewarded and doors are open for you, until they are inevitably slammed in your face because you have gone too far. But it's a way to sort of function in this giant fucked up mess of a society because you need to put food on the table. So you adopt the opinions and mannerisms even of your oppressor because it makes it easier to function. It makes it easier to not have to always be on defense against other people who are like you. The offense is always there. You just don't realize it unless you're one of those people. And then you realize how much easier it would be if you were just on the other side of things. And that's really fucked up, but it happens. And so a lot of black women, when they turn on other black women, it's because there is reward in that for them. There is. America rewards your proximity to whiteness. But at the end of the day, even if you are like white passing or whatever, there's still a ceiling that you're going to hit where people are not going to come to your defense just because you're from America. Even if you are in any other way, like an American household staple, like everybody knows and probably even loves at least one Beyonce song. And I'm telling you, in any other country, you are a distinguished part and representation of that country. And people will defend you just because you are from that country, as this commenter is saying, which they're spot on. But not in America. Not in America. In America, if you're a black woman, you cannot be used as a representation of America. That's because they don't want everybody else to know how much they've stolen from black women and how much of this country really is the work, the literal work, sweat, blood, and tears of black people and people of color in general. If they were to actually start uplifting and supporting and claiming black American women, if they were to start doing that, the standard of excellence would be set way too high for another white man to ever reach it again. So it's kind of like by downplaying and not recognizing any of black women's accomplishments, it's almost like we're ignoring that the bar is actually up here and we're clapping for people who can get up here. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's Ryan Gosling, Joe Biden, look at him being interviewed for 20 minutes straight. Like, the bar can be so low if you don't recognize the achievements and the exceptionalism of black women. So it helps the whole country to keep the bar low, because otherwise there is no competition. That's what I mean. Like, when people say Beyonce is overrated, who is she competing with? No one. No one. When people say people like Serena Williams or Simone Biles are overrated, they are literally, these women are in categories of their own. There are none others like them. And people still say that they're overrated because that helps keep the bar low for white men and white women to excel. Meanwhile, black people and people of color have been up here for years just being ignored and not recognized for these achievements so that everybody can gather around and clap for mediocre white men. That's what really this country was founded on. It was a bunch of white men who didn't want to be told what to do anymore, and they wanted to be, you know, recognized for their accomplishments. They wanted to be independent. They didn't want to be part of anything. So they made a country just for themselves. And it shows. It shows. Everything in this country is a wheelchair ramp for white men. And again, it shows. They are the least stable, most easily threatened, most fearful, most insecure demographic in this country, followed very closely by white women. Because wheelchair ramps only make you weaker, not stronger. And ignoring other people's accomplishments doesn't make you better at anything. It makes you lazy and spiteful. That's America for you. That's what it was built and founded upon. Laziness and spitefulness. Those are the results. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Godspeed.